It's the dawn of a whole new season, and where better to start the 2023-24 ISU World Cup speed skating season than in the land of the rising sun. It all gets going in Obihiro, on the island of Hokkaido, the northernmost of Japan's four main islands. The best of the world going head-to-head for the first time this season. The off-season is over. Now it's time to get back to racing. Hi everyone, Gavin Day here, delighted to be getting the call of today's racing to kick off the new World Cup speed skating season. There you have to see what's on tap today. Women's and men's 500 meter, 1,000 and mass start. There will be two 500 meter races over the course of the weekend. And there's an overhead look at the island of Hokkaido. It's the fourth time Obihiro is hosting a World Cup event. The biggest city is not too far away. Just to the northwest of Obihiro is Sapporo. But for this weekend's purposes, we are in Obihiro. It's about a 12-hour train ride from Tokyo on the famous Shinkansen, and you take a couple of bullet trains to get up there. The Obihiro Forest Speed Skating Oval became the second indoor speed skating track in Japan when it opened in 2009. First event coming up this morning will be the women's 500 meters. There's a look at Vanessa Herzog of Austria, certainly one of the competitors we'll be keeping an eye on, second in the World Cup standings last year. Racing will get going in just a few moments' time.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Meiji Hokkaido Tokachi Oval. This afternoon we'll start the first competition with ladies 500 meters race in 2 minutes.
There's the official announcement from the in-arena host. Just about 2 minutes away. Outside, it's a balmy, almost 15 degrees Celsius. Of course, the climate-controlled comfort of indoor speed skating. This used to be an outdoor facility until, like I said, they put a roof over it in about 2009. A look at your pairs. There will be 10 in all. We've already had some skating today with some of the B division competitions. Plenty of big names out in action. The notable absence will be this afternoon in women's mass start.
Introducing the skiers at pair number 1. Starting from the inner lane is Lena Zhang of
where
China.
Elena Schouten of the Netherlands is not in Japan for this weekend's mass start. But other than that, plenty of big names. There's a look at Jutta Leerdam. She'll be in both the 500 and the 1,000 meters. And our first pair. On the inner lane, Lena Zhang of China. And on the outer lane, Julie Nistad Samsonson.
Go to the start. Ready.
Of course, a 400-meter track, so for 500 meters, it's one lap and a straightaway. They will come up to get the first split time for the 100 meters, and it's Samsonson going 10.67, Zhang just 0.5 of a second behind her. And Samsonson will have the advantage of chasing down Zhang down that back stretch, perhaps getting a little bit of a draft before they tuck into the inner and outer lanes. Always very close times in the 500 meters, and they are just about side by side. It's Samsonson and Zhang coming to the line. What an opener this one is, a close finish. And it's Samsonson clocking 39.31. Alina Zhang, 39.38. Of course, they are provisionally our fastest two times. Samsonson, part of that cohort of young Norwegian sprinters. Historically, the program has had plenty of distance talent, but they're trying to develop a bigger talent pool of sprinters as well. Of course, some sprint hardware from the 2018 Olympics in Pyeongchang will certainly sell that program pretty well. Second pair moving right along, Kako Yamane of Japan and Alina Dauranova, 19 years old from Kazakhstan. There's Yamane, 28 years old, turns 29 in about 9 days' time. Dauranova, 15th in this event at the World Championships.
Ready.
Yamane's best World Cup finish last year, a 7th. The event, one of the events in Poland. We'll check those split times. It's Dauranova with the faster of the two, but it's slower than the previous heat. So Dauranova 10.89, Yamane 10.93. The ice here is pretty much at sea level, so the skaters won't get as much of a glide as they would at some of those higher elevation ovals like in Calgary, like in Salt Lake City. It will really affect the distance events more, and it's Dauranova winning the pair, going fastest by just over 0.7 of a second, 38.59 for Alina Dauranova, 38.94 Kako Yamane, slotting into second place. So that second heat puts up the two fastest times.
Introducing the pair number 3, starting from the inner lane is Nayeon Lee of Korea, and on the outer lane is Ryo Yamada of Japan.
And another Japanese skater is in the third heat. Nayeon Lee of South Korea, a youngster, 17 years old, and Ryo Yamada from Suwa, which is in Nagano Prefecture. Of course, Nagano hosted the 1998 Olympics, and that M-Wave oval has hosted all sorts of international events, and a lot of the Japanese speed skating talent is in the Nagano area or up in Hokkaido. And Yamada and Lee, 1-2 fastest times right now, both 0.2 of a second over the times set by our leader. And it is Yamada, the 26-year-old, leading things down. Lee chasing right behind her. Yamada goes fastest, almost 0.4 of a second faster, going 38.20. Lee 38.47, and so each heat has gone faster than the last. You'll see the 1000s later today, and both sprints, but the 1000 more, I guess, a celebration of sprint endurance. The 500 is just sheer power, as hard as you can. No worries about spacing out your sprint. It's just all go. Next heat, moving right along. Fourth heat, 23-year-old Karolina Bosiak from Poland and 25-year-old Brooklyn McDougall from Canada.
Go to the start.
McDougall, 16th at the World Championships in Heerenveen at the end of last season.
Ready.
Cleanly away. The 500-meter specialists will tend to get those faster 100-meter times, and the 1,000-meter specialists tend to skate more into the race. McDougall and Bosiek, some of the slower openers we've seen so far. McDougall will go into the inner lane, that new black and red Canadian skin suit. And the Polish one has usually been a mix of white, black, and red. And this one is a very close heat. Bosiek and McDougall side by side. Bosiek's pulling it out just a little bit, reaches at the line, only able to go fourth fastest. 38.62. McDougall going 38.87. So that broke the streak of each heat going faster.
カロリーナ・ボシク、ポーランド38秒61、ブルックリン・マクグガル、カナダ38秒86以上です。次注目の日本人対決ですよ。インスタート稲川選手、幕別町出身の選手、吉田選手、岩手県出身の選手です。
Heat number 5. Two skaters from Japan, Kurumi Inagawa and Yukino Yoshida. Yoshida, 20 years old. Inagawa, you see there, 24. Inagawa was 10th in this distance at the World Championships, and for Yoshida, she is making her World Cup debut.
Go to the start. Ready.
All Japanese heat, certainly. The skaters are familiar with one another. We'll see how their times compare with our leaders. They side by side through the first 100 meters, and they are 1 and 2 right now. 1/100th of a second separating the two. Inagawa 10.49, Yoshida 10.50. It's all about maintaining that speed and maintaining that power all the way around. Handling the turn, able to keep that speed through the turn. Another very close heat, just about side by side. It is going to be Yoshida taking it, spilling after she crosses the line. But she sets the fastest time. Inagawa, second fastest time, 38.14. Yoshida with that fastest time, 37.96. First skater under 38. And the definition of going all out there. Get a replay of what happened.
現在、電光掲示板にジャパンが1、2、3並んでおります。吉田ゆきの選手、初めての37秒台です。
There is Inagawa. Just a matter of slipping out from under her. She was looking up at the clock and down she goes. I think she's fine though. Well, maybe a cut of the skin suit there. She seems to be okay. Guess we'll see. There your standings. Japan 1, 2, and 3 at the moment. Yoshida, Inagawa, and Yamada. But the second half of our pairings here, we'll see some pretty big names coming to the start line. There's one of them who we'll see in the 8th pair, Aaron Jackson. The defending Olympic champion in the 500 meters.
Skaters of pair number 6. Starting from the inner lane is Carolina Hiller of Canada, and on the outer lane is
heat number 6,
Herzog
Carolina
of
Hiller,
Austria.
26-year-old from Canada, got engaged in the off-season. And Vanessa Herzog, 28-year-old from Austria, second overall in the 500 meters on World Cup last season.
Ready.
And there is a false start. And the red flag indicating the red armband. And just the slightest of twitches from Herzog. Chalk that one up to nerves. First World Cup of the season. Herzog really the standard bearer of the smaller Austrian program. 2 fourth place finishes at an Olympics does Vanessa Herzog.
Now skipper. Go to the
And we'll
start.
see if this time we'll get away cleanly.
Ready.
This time they are away cleanly. Herzog also second in the 500 meters at the World Championships in Heerenveen at the end of last season. And it looks like it is Hiller with the slightly faster opener, but not the fastest one we've seen. 7th and 8th fastest first 100 meters so far. We'll see how they pick up speed the rest of the way. Herzog, we know she can shift, and look how she's closed right up behind Hiller. Getting into that draft, and Hiller really pouring it on now. Pardon me, that's Herzog really pouring it on now. She is pulling away from Carolina Hiller. Herzog could, let's see what time she sets. Only manages to do the 6th fastest time. 38.60. Hiller 39.15.
38.60.
キャロライナ・ヒラー、カナダ39秒15、バネッサ・ヒルツオック、オーストリア38秒
I think a really good draft was Herzog there down the back stretch.
Introducing the skaters of pair number 7. Starting from the inner lane is Dion Voskamp of
Into
Netherlands.
the
On the
7th
outer
pair.
lane is Marit Flederis of Netherlands.
Dion Voskamp, 26 years old of the Netherlands, and her teammate, Marit Flederis,
Go to the start.
22 years old, 7th and 8th, both overall in the 500-meter World Cup standings last year.
Ready.
Just 2/100ths of a second separate their personal bests. We're expecting a pretty close pairing here. As always with teammates, very familiar, likely do a lot of training together. It's Voskamp with the faster opener. 10.70 to 10.85 for Flederis. Still not comparing to the faster openers we've seen, but it is always how they finish, how you pick up and maintain that speed the whole way. The full 500 meters going to be coming to the line, and we'll check that time. Flederis 4th fastest, 38.24. Voskamp 38.65.
Finishing time for Marit Flederis of Netherlands is 38.24.
Her time good enough for 9th place at the moment.
マリット・フルテルス、オランダ38秒23以上です。
後半3組を残してまだ日本人がワン・ツー・スリー並んでおります。ここからさらに注目の6選手登場してきますので楽しみにしてください。
And another Dutch skater will be in the 8th pair. And how's this for a pairing? Jutta Leerdam on the inner lane, Aaron Jackson of the United States on the outer lane. 1-2
Go to the
in the
start.
last Olympics in Beijing. 31-year-old Jackson. Leerdam, 24.
Ready.
You see Jackson using that down start. She, of course, switched over from inline. Jackson, the first black woman to ever win Olympic gold medal in Beijing. Only one medal on World Cup last year, a bronze in Calgary, and she gets a very good draft behind Leerdam going into that inner lane. Leerdam, of course, you might figure more as a 1,000 skater. But we'll see how Jackson is faring. Is she on form? She had the fastest opening 100 meters. She's bringing this one to the line. It's going to be Jackson going fastest. by 7/100ths of a second, 37.89. Leerdam can only muster 6th, 38.43. And if that's not an early sign that Erin Jackson is back and ready to go this season, well, I'm not sure what is. Good race from her.
37秒89以上です。
ここで北京オリンピック 500m の金メダリストジャクソン選手がトップに立ちました。
Jackson at the U.S. trials
The pair number 9.
won both of the 500 meters that they held there in Salt Lake City.
Of Netherlands.
And in pair 9, Femke Koch, world champion of the Netherlands, and Kim Min-sun
Go to the
of
start.
Korea, 4th in this distance at the most recent World Championships.
Ready.
Cleanly away, Koch still just 23 years old, Kim 24. See how their first openers compare. Not too far off of the time set by Jackson, 4th and 5th. 10.59 and 10.61. And it's going to be Kim trying to get into that slipstream into the inner lane. Koch goes right into the outer lane, closing things up. Side by side they come. They're going to drag this one out to the line. It's going to be close. Who's going to take it? It's Koch. 4/100ths of a second behind Jackson, 37.93, and Kim Min-sun, 38 even. Good enough for 4th.
Korea is 38.00.
And so Erin Jackson of the United States is assured of a podium here in the opening 500 meters of the season.
ここで昨シーズンの世界選手権この種目優勝の
And only 2 women can knock her off that top spot, and one of them is her very own teammate. There's Koch sitting second now.
It is the 10th and the final pair of ladies 500 meters, the first race. Starting from the inner
And
lane
in
is
pair
Naomi
number
Verkerk.
10.
On the outer lane
From
is
the
Kimi
Netherlands,
Gates.
Naomi Verkerk. And I mentioned Jackson's teammate with the United States,
Go
Kimi
to the
Getz.
start.
There's Verkerk, 23, has also competed nationally in athletics. And Getz, 29 years old, from Flemington, New Jersey.
Ready.
Last year, kind of a breakout year for Getz, really in the 1,000 meters. Won a gold medal at the World Cup stop in Poland. We'll see how she does in her first 500 of the year. 4th fastest, 1/10 of a second slower than the time set by Jackson Verkerk. 10.69, about a quarter of a second down as the 10th fastest opener. This Dutch program, of course, churning out so much talent year after year after year. It's the expectation in the Netherlands, but it's Getz leading the pair, who was second in the U.S. trials not too long ago. Getz comes, Getz goes fastest, and Kimi Getz.
Finishing time for
That's a World Cup win for her. 37.83. Naomi Verkerk 38.43. And it's USA 1 and 2 in the first 500 meters of the year. Getz just putting her head down, driving the arms, driving the legs.
アメリカのキミ・ゲッツ選手 500m 初優勝ですね。おめでとうございます。
And the perk of having perhaps a bit more of a 1,000-meter specialist is you can finish strong. A wave from Kimi Getz, her first ever 500-meter World Cup win. For the former short tracker, competed as a member of the U.S. short track team from 2014 to 2018 and switched over to the long track, and looks like that is paying off so far. Again, Jackson there. Have to settle for silver, but Sherwin, his 2-year teammate, it softens the blow a little bit, and also one of her best performances on World Cup in some time. I'll remember when Jackson burst onto the scene after making that switch from inline. Here's a look at the results. USA 1-2, Getz and Jackson. Femke Koch of the Netherlands rounds out the podium. And Yoshina, Kim, Inagawa, Yamada 4 through 7, and then 3 more Dutch skaters 8 through 10. And moving right along. Quickly jump into the men's 500 meters in pretty short order. Until then, we'll just take a quick little pause and back with you shortly.
2 minutes, we'll be returning to our next competition, which will be the men's 500 meters first race for Division A skaters. The first pair, please get ready.
Here's a start list for the men's 500 meters. As I mentioned, 10 pairs, 20 skaters, same as the women. Some new faces and some familiar ones as well. A lot of those women skaters from the 500 meters we'll actually see coming up shortly in the 1,000 as well. Look at that last pair. Sebastian Denitz, 21-year-old. First and third at the recent Dutch trials, and Jordan Stoltz, the 3-time world champion. But certainly plenty of talent in this field. A lot of the higher seeded skaters will come in the second half of the draw.
The next race is 500 meters for Division A skaters. The first race, starting from the inner lane, is Min-Yu Cha of Korea, and on the outer lane is Bjorn Magnusson of
getting
Norway.
underway. This pretty experienced first pairing. Min-Kyu Cha of Korea, 30 years old. Best finish last year in the 500 meters, a 30th at the World Cup in Poland. And Bjorn Magnusson, 25 years old, from Norway.
Ready.
Should be a pretty evenly matched pair as well. 15th and 16th at the World Championships in Heerenveen. And it is Magnusson off to the faster start, 9.82. Cha, 9.91, 9/100ths of a second down. It is Magnusson who's going to have a pretty fair draft down that back stretch as he tucks into the inner line. And down they come, just about side by side. Cha and Magnusson bringing this one to the line. Who's going to take it? It is Cha by 4/100ths of a second, 35.27, 35.31 for Magnusson.
Min-Kyu Cha of Korea is 35.27, and
Magnusson got to the faster start,
Norway is 35.31.
but Cha got to the line quicker.
チャ・ミンジュ韓国35秒27ヨルン・マグヌッセンノルウェー35秒31以上です
The Norwegian program has one of the all-time great sprinters among their coaching staff, Canadian Jeremy Wotherspoon. Came into that Norwegian program just after the
Introducing the skaters of
2014
pair number
Olympics.
2.
Jumping on
Starting from the
to
inner
heat
lane
number
is
2, David Bosa
And on the outer
of
lane
Italy.
is Piotr Michalski of Poland.
and Piotr Michalski of Poland on the outer lane. There's Bosa, 31 years old. Has a bronze medal
to
at
the
the World
start.
Cup in the 1,000 meters in Calgary in 2022.
Ready.
Michalski was 15th overall in the 500-meter World Cup standings last year.
アウターレーンピョートル・ミハルスキーポー
And
ラン
it
ド
is going to be Michalski,
First 100 meters for
just 3/100ths of a second down on that fastest first 100. Bosa, 2/100ths of a second behind him.
ボサ9秒96
Key around these corners is not to lose your speed. Just maintain your momentum around the corner and carry it over to the line. It's going to be side by side to the line. It's Bosa taking it, but just in second by 1/100th of a second. Michalski, 35.42, puts him for the moment in fourth place.
35.28, and the finishing time for Piotr Michalski of Poland is 35.41.
ダビド・ボサイタリア35秒28ピョードル・ミハルスキーポーランド35秒41以上です
There's a look at Jordan Stoltz. He'll be in the final pair
Introducing the
of the
skaters of pair number
afternoon.
3. Starting from the inner lane is
And in heat number 3, Neil Yop of Spain.
And on the outer lane is Marek Kania of Poland.
And Marek Kania from Poland. Yop is 21 years old, Kania just 24. Yop, a World Junior silver medal in 2022.
Ready.
Yop also with a background in inline. He's competed at a youth Olympics, and he sets the fastest time of the first opening 100 meters, 600th of a second faster than our leader. That's Cha, but still behind the fastest first 100 overall. That first time split is compared to the fastest first 100, not necessarily the fastest overall time. Anyway, it is Yop bringing this one to the line, and he goes fastest, 35.19, 1/100th of a second ahead of Kania. And so these skaters now move atop the leaderboard.
Time for Marek Kania of Poland is 35.20.
Yop, who skated at the Youth Olympics outside on a lake in St. Moritz. Pretty lovely venue for that to be held. Yop, who's from pretty much right next to the Barcelona airport, El Prat de Llobregat. Very small Spanish team. Here's a familiar name on the inner lane, Hein Otterspeer of the Netherlands, 34 years old. The overall 1,000 meter World Cup champion from last year. And a new face, relatively new face, second year on World Cup, Yevgeny Koshkin, 20 years old, from Kazakhstan.
Ready.
Otterspeer certainly more of a 1,000 meter specialist, able to maintain that pace for longer. It is Koshkin with a pretty healthy advantage right now, 9.55, the fastest opener we've seen by about 0.3 of a second. Otterspeer 9.89, good enough for the 5th fastest opener. Clean crossover down that back stretch, and we'll see how Koshkin can bring this one to the line. Otterspeer skating really well into this race. He's now taken the lead. It's going to be Otterspeer bringing this one to the line, and he goes fastest, 34.90. Koshkin 35.50, good enough for 8th place. And Otterspeer started, well, don't want to say slowly. He didn't start quickly. He certainly ended that way, though. He is happy with that skate, moving him atop the leaderboard after 4 pairs. Standing almost 2 meters tall, big, tall Hein Otterspeer. And into the 5th pair on the inner lane, the first of the Japanese men, Takuya Morimoto and Damian Zurek, 24 years old, from Poland. There is Morimoto. Didn't finish on the podium on World Cup last year, but consistent. 5 top 10 finishes in 6 500-meter races. And Zurek, who was 10th overall in the World Cup standings.
Ready.
In these 500 meters, there's so little separating the best of the best, and so when it's hundredths of a second, you can see someone who wins a race one week and then is off the podium in the next. And it's Morimoto with the fastest opening 100 meters, 9.52. Zurek, 9.86, also not too bad from him. And it's Morimoto On the outside, as I mentioned, 5 top 10 finishes on World Cup last year. We'll see what he can do here to open things off at Obihiro. He's going to win the pair from the looks of things coming to the line. 34.91, 1/100th of a second. Behind Otterspeer, Zurek 35.47, good enough for 9th place. Nod of the head.
Finishing time for Damian Zurek of Poland is 35.47.
Look back at Morimoto, so close to knocking off Otterspeer.
34秒90。ダミアン・ゼレシック、
Morimoto
ポ
who
ーランド
also coaches
35秒
skaters.
46。以上です。
現在森本選手2位につけてます。34秒90。素晴らしいです。
Appreciating the home support, bow to the crowd for him. And now, pair number 6 on the inner lane, Josh Tellison, making his World Cup debut, 21 years old, from Fort St. John, British Columbia. It's a pretty small town, but it's the home of one of 3 indoor ovals in Canada. There's Junho Kim of Korea, 28 years old. I mentioned those 3 ovals in Canada. One's in Calgary, one's in Quebec City, and Fort St. John, BC, which is really pretty far up north there.
Ready.
And there is a false start. Might have been a twitch there from Kim. Of course, you don't want to get that second false start.
Full start. Outer lane.
As early to the outer lane, it is in fact Kim.
Go to the start.
His bronze medal, the World Juniors, came in 2013.
Ready.
This time they are cleanly away. Tellison burst onto the scene earlier at the Canadian trials this month. He's finished second to Laurent Dubreuil, 0.3 of a second behind him, and it's Junho Kim with the faster opener, 9.59 compared to 9.93. And look how tucked in he is right behind Tellison. Getting a very nice draft. It's going to be Kim if he can stay on his feet. Little speed wobbles from the Korean. Drifts pretty far out. That's going to cost him a little bit of time, but he is going to win the pair. We'll see what Kim does. He crosses 35.19, good for third. And Josh Tellison, 35.77. That slots him for the moment into 12th place on his World Cup debut.
ジョシュア・テリジンカナダ35秒77。キム・ジュノ韓国35秒18。以上です。
次、森重選手登場しますよ。
Flat skates.
別会場出身、北京オリンピック銅メダリストの登場です。
Reached the
対す
line.
るはオランダカイ・フェルバー選手。日本語の皆さんの声聞こえてますよ。
And this is a pretty good pair as well on the inner lane from Japan. Wataru Morishige, the 23-year-old. And on the outer lane, Kai Verbai. There is Morishige, bronze in the 500 at the World Championships. And Verbai, his last season was largely derailed with a groin injury, so we'll see where he is in his recovery.
Ready.
At the Dutch trials earlier this month, they ran 2 500 meters, and Verbai did pick up a second in one of them, so we'll see how he is faring. It is Morishige with the faster opener, 9.70 compared to 9.98 for Verbai. Verbai, whose mother is from Japan. Not looking like he is up to speed with Morishige in this one. Morishige, who won a World Cup in Poland in the 500 meters last year, he goes fastest now, 34.69 by 0.2 of a second. Verbai, 35.64, slotting him into 13th place.
Finishing time for Wataru Morishige of Japan is 34.69. Finishing time for Kai Verbai of Netherlands is 35.63.
Morishige, who's looking to add to his 2 career 500-meter World Cup wins, also has a bronze medal from the last Olympics in Beijing.
森重選手がトップに立ちました。
Morishige,
ラスト1周
pretty
の
much
ラップ
his
タイムも
home
24
race.
秒で非常に速いラップタイムで回って
He
き
is
ました。
from Betsukai, which is just east of Obihiro. So I'm sure some family and friends out for that man. There is 1, 2, and 3 right now. Morishige, Otter Spear,
Introducing the
and
skaters
Morimoto,
of pair number 8.
number 8.
Starting from the inner
Pretty
lane
heavy
is
hitters here
Laurent
too.
Dubreuil
Laurent
of Canada.
Dubreuil and
On
Marijn
the other lane is Ming Scheperkamp of Netherlands.
Saperkamp of the Netherlands. Saperkamp, 23 years old. Dubreuil, the veteran, 31, are defending
Go to the start.
overall 500-meter World Cup champion.
Ready. Full start and a lane.
And it's a false start. You see the little bit of a twitch
to
there
the
from
start.
Dubreuil. No matter how experienced you are at this, nobody's perfect.
Ready.
And Dubreuil, who has Olympic and World Championship medals, has said the World Cup is really the test of who is the best skater because it's over several events as opposed to who peaks at that one time. Pretty good openers, 9.79 for Dubreuil, 9.89 for Saperkamp. Saperkamp at the Dutch trials, as I mentioned, they had 2 500 meters. He had a first and a second. There's a little bit of a hand down from Saperkamp. We'll see what that does to his speed. It is Dubreuil leading this pair to the line. We'll see what kind of time he can put up. He crosses 35.08, pardon me. 35.44 for Saperkamp. Good only for 4th and 12th.
Finishing time for Mary Scheperkamp of Netherlands is 35.44.
ローラン・ディブレイユカナダ35秒08。メレイン・セヘパーカンプオランダ35秒44。以上です。
8組が終わって現在トップに森重選手。
Not the most enthusiastic of waves from the Canadian
こ
champion.
こで日本人お二人の登場です。インからは国内最高記録保持者の
This
新
is
本
the
選手
real
と
first test.
リンクレコー
An
ド
all Japanese ninth pair, Tatsuya Shinama and Yuma Murakami. Shinama,
Introducing the skaters of
27
pair number
years
9.
old.
Starting from the inner lane
Another
is
one of the
Tatsuya
skaters
Shinama
from
of Japan.
Hokkaido skating at home, and
On
Murakami,
the outer lane is Yuma Murakami
2
of
gold
Japan.
medals in the 500 meters in the World Cup last year, second
Go to
overall
the start.
behind Dubreuil.
Ready.
And they are pulling their way, 2 very evenly matched skaters. Not a lot separating them. Virtually identical opening hundreds, 9.49 and 9.52. The fastest 2 openers we've seen so far. It is Shinama, just that little bit faster. A crossover on the back stretch closing things up down the home stretch, just about side by side. Listen to that crowd in Obihiro. And it's Shinama going fastest, 34.52, 34.82 for Murakami. He slots into third place, so 1 and 3 for the two Japanese skaters.
34.52. Finishing time for Yuma Murakami of Japan is 34.82.
Although how long will those times hold? You saw who's next.
34秒52村上優馬日本34秒82以上です。
いや非常に熱い戦いでした。現在新浜選手が1位、村上選手が3位に繰り込みまして、森重選手を挟んで1、2、3日本選手並んであります。残すは最終組、アメリカのジョーダン・ストルツ選手。
Currently, 1, 2, and 3, and 5 for the Japanese sprinters. But as I said, we'll see how long this holds after the final pair.
Men's 500 meters race, first race for Division A skaters.
And what a final pair it is. On the inner lane, Sebastian Deniz, 21.
Jordan Stoltz of USA.
First and third in the 500 at the Dutch trials. Beating some pretty heavy hitters, and 19 years old already. 3 times a world champion just a few months ago. Jordan Stoltz of the United States.
Ready.
Stoltz, the winner of the 500,000 and 1,500 meters in Herrenveen. Well, he's a pretty popular, likable guy on the World Cup circuit. 9.72 for Stoltz, 9.80 for Deniz. Not the fastest of openers, but as we've seen, it's not how you start, it is how you finish. And Stoltz will cross over into that inner lane. And looks like he's going to take the lead of the pairing. And down goes Deniz. And we'll see how that affects Stoltz's time. He goes 34.93, good only for 6th place. And we'll just hope that Deniz is okay. He's on his skates. Doesn't look too worse for wear. And so, with that last pair, a Japanese sweep. 1, 2, 3, and 5. Not a bad way to start for the hometown team.
Finishing time for Jordan Stoltz of USA is 34.93, and finishing time for Sebastian Deniz of Netherlands is 60.33.
セバスチャン・ディニズオランダ60秒33、ジョーダン・ストルツアメリカ34秒91以上です。
最終組にちょっと転倒がありまして、ちょっとオランダのセバスチャン・デイズ選手、オランダ店舗2位で通過してた選手だっただけにちょっと残念だったんですが、皆様電光掲示板をご覧ください。1位に新浜選手、2位に森重選手、3位に村上選手の名前
Owning the podium, so to speak. Now look back here. We'll try to see what happened with Deniz. Look at the podium. 1, 2, 3. Shinhama, Morishige, and Murakami. Alderspear in 4th and Morimoto in 5th. Shinhama, who has won the World Cup 500 meter classification once before. That was in the 2019-2020 season. couple of years ago. Gets off on the right foot this season. Shinama, Morishige, and Murakami, 1, 2, and 3. Here's a look at the top 10. And Deniz there, 20th. As he slid out. And a look at the World Cup standings. So we will pause. They will give out some of those medals that have just been won. And competition will resume with the women's 1,000 meters in about 15 minutes. So I will talk to you shortly.
お待たせいたしました。これより1回目女子 500m の表彰を行います。We will now commence our ceremony for first 500-meter women. The medal will be presented by Ms. Swanna Super Ultra ISA representative. Bronze medal, Famke Kok, Netherlands. Silver medal, Erin Jackson, USA. Gold medal, Kimi Getz, USA. Obihiro Swiss bouquet is presented by Naoko Saiki, Vice President of Japan Skate Federation. Obihiro スイーツブーケの贈呈は日本スケート連盟副会長佐伯直子でございます。
Congratulations.
今回はお花ブーケではなくて帯広の美味しいお菓子をブーケに仕立ててお渡しをしております。
Thank you. Confectionaries. Thank you. Congratulations.
帯広スイーツブーケを今お渡ししました。皆様大きな拍手をお願いいたします。Please give the medalists a round of applause. Dear Madam, congratulations. 選手が退場いたします。拍手でお送りください。これより1回目男子500メートルの表彰式を行います。We will now commence the award ceremony for first 500-meter men. The medals will be presented by Ms. Wana Silva Archer, ICU representative. Bronze medal, Yuma Murakami, Japan. Silver medal, Wataru Morishige, Japan. Gold medal, Tatsuya Shinhana, Japan. 皆様、選手に大きな拍手をお送りください。Please give the medalists a round of applause to honor them. 選手が退場いたします。盛大な拍手でお送りください。Congratulations! おめでとうございます。
Here's a look at the start list for the women's 1,000 meters. A lot of similar names that we've just saw who are back pulling some double duty today. 1,000 meters is kind of interesting as you have the sprinters who are more 500, 1,000 skaters, but then you have that mix with those 1,500 meter skaters. And so it's still considered a sprint, but there is that endurance aspect mixed in with it. So first heat, inner lane. Nayun Lee of Korea, just 17 years old. And on the outer lane, Yekaterina Aidova of Kazakhstan, 8th in the World Cup standings last year. Or last season, rather.
Go to the start. Ready.
And so the 1,000, of course, 2.5 laps. Mention Aidova, her personal best is about 3.5 seconds faster than Lee, but Lee is 17 years old, and so we expect that time to start dropping pretty quickly. She's at the age where pretty much every skate you're going fast, and it's Lee off to the faster start right now. Idova with some work to do. They make a nice crossover down that back stretch. It's actually looking quite even through the first 600 meters. But it's Lee in front, 46.71. Idova, 46.84. 13 hundredths separating them, and so now it's just a matter of trying to keep those legs going. Who can slow down the fastest or the slowest is essentially the rule here. Who can maintain that speed, keep the arms going, keep the legs ticking over, and it is Idova right now coming through the line. 1:17.49, Nayun Lee, 1:18.38.
Finishing time for Nakano
So I
Lee
mentioned
of Korea is 1:18.38.
this oval is pretty much at ice at sea level, so you're not going to see many land speed records set. It's not a day to count your personal bests. Of course, there are those low-level records as well, so it really does make that much of a difference, the elevation change. The places you'll see in Salt Lake City and Calgary, which both boast the world's fastest ice. Certainly rivalry between those two. Second pair, all Japanese, Ayano Sato
Introducing skaters of pair number 2.
and
Starting
Sumire
from inner lane
Kikuchi.
is Ayano Sato of Japan.
Sato, 26 years
On the
old.
outer lane is Sumire Kikuchi of Japan.
And Kikuchi, we'll see, likely also in the 1500 meters. You can see her in the mass start as well. So Kikuchi, one of those skaters who could we see more in the middle distances.
Ready?
Kikuchi last year, her best results came in the mass start. She was 9th overall in the World Cup standings. See how they compare to the two. First time check. Quarter of a second faster. Sato 18.14. Kikuchi 18.59. Fourth out of 4 opening 200 meters. But as I mentioned, Kikuchi is more of 1,000/1,500 meter skater in the individual. So her strength lies in maintaining her speed over a longer period. So we'll see how well she skates into this one. Both of them now, 1-2, Sato 46.25, Kikuchi 46.49. Look at those lap times. Kikuchi 27.90, Sato just over 28. So it's all, particularly in the longer distances, they worry about maintaining consistent lap times. And you don't want to see much bleed off of time from one lap to the next. Around the final turn, carrying it for home. It's actually going to be quite close between the two. Sato and Kikuchi go 1-2. 1:16.54 for Kikuchi, or Sato rather, 1:16.65 for Kikuchi. Last lap time, pretty comparable between those two. They are 1 and 2 after 2 pairs.
1分16秒65以上です。
はい、ここで日本の2選手が1位、2位に上がってきました。菊池すみれ選手はシーズンベスト更新です。
And into the third pair, 2 women we've already seen today. Erin Jackson already on the podium with a silver medal in the 500 meters, and Vanessa Herzog of Austria, silver in the 1,000 meters at the 2019 World Championships in Innsbruck. 28-year-old Herzog, 5th overall in the 1,000-meter World Cup standings last season, rather. Herzog out of Innsbruck, which has hosted 2 Winter Olympics, and Jackson out of Ocala, Florida.
Ready? Horse up, inner lane.
And it's a
Crossing
false
the
start
line.
for Jackson.
Go to the start.
Certainly more of a 500-meter specialist. She also has a 500-meter inline medal from the 2015 Pan Am Games in Toronto. This time they are cleanly away. And Herzog, who is from Innsbruck, as I mentioned, the 1964 and 1976 Winter Games. It's a beautiful part of the world. Innsbruck still has the old ski jump from that venue. It's hosted the Youth Olympics. Very even opening 200 between these two, just over a tenth of a second separating the two. Herzog 18.19, Jackson 18.33. And they'll have a crossover here, and then one more crossover on the next lap. And so Herzog will go into that inner lane. Very small Austrian team, but with a very talented skater, Herzog, as she puts up the fastest time now, 46.07. Look at that lap time, almost a second faster than Jackson's, who is down with the 6th fastest time. We will see how they handle that crossover, how they can maintain that speed through the final 100 meters. The lactic acid certainly building up right now, feeling that burn into the home stretch. It's Herzog who's going to take the pair, provided she stays on her feet, which she does. And 1:17.18 for Herzog, that's third fastest. And Jackson, 1:19.95.
Finishing time for Erin Jackson of USA is 1 minute 19.95. Finishing time for Vanessa Herzog of Austria is 1 minute 17.18.
エリン・ジャクソン、アメリカ、1分19秒95。
Herzog, bronze in Calgary last year in the 1,000 meters on the World Cup circuit. Most of her medals came in the 500 meters.
500メートルが終わったばかりの選手、非常にここ間の時間が短かったので、ちょっと疲れが見えてしまってるんですが、皆さんの応援でたくさん後押ししてあげてください。
Introducing skaters to pair number 4.
Pair number 5. Our first look of the weekend for Elias Smeding of Great Britain. And there's Karolina Bosiek, 23 years old from Poland. There is Smeding on the outer lane. Pair number 4. Might have said 5. Looks like we do have another false start. And that one will go to Smeding.
All start inner lane, crossing the line. Go to the start.
Inner line, so it is Bosiek's false start.
Ready.
This time it is a clean start. Of course, Smeding, who born in Oxford in the UK, trains in Heronvane with her husband and teammate Cornelius Kirsten, the first British man to ever win a World Single Distances medal last year, to run a coffee business to help fund their training. And it's Bosiek with the fastest time, 18.34, 2/10 of a second slower than the fastest time. Smeding was 13 overall in the 1,000 last year. We'll see how she skates into this one. It's Bosiek still maintaining a lead right now, coming up to the bell. 46.44, almost identical lap times between the two, but Bosiek almost 2/10 of a second off the pace, third fastest time at the moment. There's one more crossover on that back stretch, and that really is to Bosiek's advantage. She'll get that inner lane. She starts to eat it up on the inside. Bosiek down to the final stretch. Looks like she will take this pair. It's a matter of what the time is. 1:16.5 seconds, second fastest by 0.04 of a second. 1:17.43, fifth for Elias Smeding.
Elliot Letty finishing time
Almost
is
an identical
1:17.43.
first full lap, but Bosiak about 0.3 of a second faster.
16秒55エリアスメディングイギリス1分17秒42以上です。
はい、ここでポーランドのカロリナ・ボシェク選手が佐藤選手の下2番に入ってきましたね。次の組も非常に注目ですよ。皆さんたくさん応援してください。
There's pair 5, a first look at
Introducing
Ivany
the skaters of pair
Blondet
number
of
5.
Canada
Starting from the inner lane, Ivany Bolden of Canada, and on
and
the outer
Min
lane
Sun
is
Kim
Min Sun
of
Kim
Korea in the outer lane. 4 continents, 1,000 meter gold medal last year for Kim, 24 years old from Seoul.
Ready.
More of Kim's successes come in the 500 meters. Youth Olympics gold medal in the 500. Overall 500 meter World Cup champion last year. We'll see how she does in the 1,000. And Blondet, we've seen a lot of her success in the team pursuit in the mass start. Oh, pretty close opening 200 meters. Kim 18.47, Blondet 18.54. Blondet also did some road racing and cycling this year. She was 40th in the Canadian National Road Cycling Championship. She also did some criterium racing, finishing on the podium in a pretty prestigious criterium in Vancouver. And there is the bell. It looks like Kim might have a slight advantage, and check that. It is Blondet, 46.39 with the fastest time of the pair. Kim 46.48. Almost 0.2 of a second difference in their lap time, and Blondet gets a nice draft down that backstretch. She'll tuck into the inner lane. Looks like she will pour away from Kim. As I mentioned, Kim more of a 500 meter specialist. Blondet really just starting to get going here. Looks like she will take the pair. The time, she goes fastest, 1:15.91 by 0.6 of a second, and Kim 1:17.55, just about a second and a half difference in that second lap.
Kim of Korea is 1:17.55.
So Blondet now, the 33-year-old veteran from Ottawa, puts up the time to beat.
ここでカナダのイバニー・ブロンディン選手が1分15秒台を出してトップに立ってます。次に登場する中国インスタントのハンマー選手は85
Pretty big names still to come in the final 5 pairs. All Chinese pair, pair number 6, Mei Han.
Is Mei Han of China, and the
Inner
outer
lane.
lane is Qixi Li
And
of
Qixi
China.
Li in the outer lane. There's Mei Han, 25 years old.
Go to the start.
And Li, a bit more of a veteran, 30 years old. Pretty comparable personal bests.
Ready.
And the 2 Chinese skaters cleanly away. Next weekend, the World Cup will be in Beijing. Certainly the familiar ground for these 2 skaters. 18.29 for Qixi Li, 18.42 for Mei Han. Faster than the time set by Blondet, but only the 4th and 8th fastest overall starts. We'll see how they continue through the first full lap here. Ridding of the T, 400 meters to go. It's Li, 45.53, almost 0.9 of a second ahead of Blondet's time. Mei Han, 0.7 of a second ahead of Blondet. Only the 4th fastest overall time right now, and so looks like Qixi Li on course to win the pair. We'll see if she can maintain that speed and pick up the fastest time. Bringing it to the line, it is Li, goes fastest by another 0.6 of a second, 1:15.56. 116.29. Mehan 116.23. Good enough for third place.
China is 1 minute 15.29.
And so Chixi Li, whose only World Cup win in the 1,000 came in Seoul in the 2014-2015 season. Former short tracker goes fastest
Introducing the skaters of pair number
here
7.
in Obihiro.
Starting from the inner lane is Marit Flederis of Netherlands, and on the outer lane is Helga Drost of Netherlands.
An all Dutch pair number 7, Marit Flederis on the inner lane. Helga Drost on the outer. Look at the top 6 right now. China, Canada, and China. Flederis and Drost, the Dutch pair.
Ready.
Cleanly away between the two. Flederis was 4th at the Dutch trials recently. Drost was 5th. Just over 3/10 of a second was the difference between the two. And in the opening 200, it's Flederis out fastest. Faster by about 1/4 of a second. Drost a little bit behind her. A lot of the story still to be told here. See what that inner lane can do. It looking like it is still Flederis in front. She has now slipped to second. 45.66. Drost 46.70. Flederis a much faster lap time there. It's just a matter of holding off, preventing that bleed off of time. Flederis looking like she's able to do it right now. She'll take that inner lane, she'll take the pair, and her time, 1:16.55. Lot lost time there. Helga Drost, 1:18.82, 13th, and so that last lap proving pretty decisive for these two. Just a lot of time lost in that last lap.
1分16秒55ヘルハドルストオランダ1分18秒82以上です。
はい、皆さん次注目ですよ。世界記録保持者アメリカのブリタニー・ボー選手と昨シーズンの世界選手権チャンピオンユダ・レールダム選手の戦いになります。
So neither of those two Dutch skaters were able to land on the podium. We'll see if their teammate can do it here in this next pair, the 8th pair. Brittany Bowe, the great American 35-year-old veteran. 3-time 1,000-meter single distance world champion, and Yuda Leerdam, the 24-year-old. We saw her in the 500 meters. 2nd overall in the World Cup last year.
Ready.
Leerdam, 5 gold medals on the World Cup circuit last year. Silver medal in the distance at the Olympics against Brittany Bowe, who's won just about everything there is to win in sprints, except an Olympic gold medal. She has a bronze in the 1,000 and a bronze in the team pursuit. Both of them going under the fast of the time of the leader right now. Bowe 17.95, Leerdam 18.09. Leerdam, of course, immensely talented, but Bowe a great deal of experience. But she knows she has fewer races ahead of her than behind. And Leerdam really skating into this one under 27-second lap, just over 45 seconds. Bowe has slipped a little bit. But we'll see what they can do. She has that final inside lane. Leerdam, though, we know there's not much drop-off in her speed. She's won plenty of these 1,000 meters. We'll see if she can win another one. It's looking like she will win the pair. Bowe doing her best to close the gap. Leerdam reaches at the line and goes fastest by a healthy margin. 1:14.57. Bo in the end, a pretty good final lap, 1:15.35. By a matter of a few hundredths of a second, she slips into third.
ブリタニー・ボーン、アメリカ、1分15秒35。ユタ・レールダム、オランダ、
So it's that
1分
first
14
full
秒
lap
57。
that
以上です。
cost Bo a little bit of time. She skated really well in that second full lap. And there is your new leader, Yuta Leerdam, by over 7/10 of a second. Lee in second, Bo in third, Blondin slips to fourth.
Introducing skaters of pair number 9. Starting from the inner lane
But
is
still,
Femke Koch of
plenty of
Netherlands.
talent to go.
And on the outer lane
Femke
is
Koch
Kimmy Gates of USA.
of the Netherlands, and the woman we just saw win the 500 meters, Kimmy Getz.
Go to the start.
And of course, as I mentioned earlier, if there is a specialty for her, it is the 1,000 meters.
Ready.
Koch is a former 1,000 meter junior world champion. And Getz, who was third in the 1,000 meter overall last year on World Cup, picked up her first career gold medal in the 1,000. That was at the World Cup stop in Poland. Interesting opener. Koch 17:79, Getz 18:03. Both under Leerdam's time. But that first full lap proved decisive for Yuta Leerdam. We'll see how they do it. And this time, Getz really puts her head down and drives those arms down the back stretch, closing things up. There is the bell. Koch and Getz currently second and third. Those lap times 27:48 for Koch, 27:40 for Goetz. She had that inner lane and looks like she might be pulling it out a little bit. Koch with a gap to chase down on the back stretch. She's going to need that inner lane. Getz trying to go 2 for 2 in the sprints here in Obihiro into the final few meters, the final few strides. Getz both arms going, bringing it to the line, only good enough for second. 1:14.75. Koch into third. 1:15.23. Kimmy Getz first in the 500, currently second in the 1,000, with one final pair.
はい、ここで先ほど 500m で表彰台に立った2人が最終組を残して2位、3位に食い込んできました。そして最終組には
Getz proving last year's breakout year was no fluke. Leerdam, there's a look at her. Still catching her breath a little bit. Maintains her lead.
Introducing the 10th
And the final pair.
1,000 meters
Hometown crowd will like this one. Miho Takagi, the Olympic champion in the 1,000 meters.
of Japan.
29 years old.
And on the outer lane is Antoinette Reikman de Jong of Netherlands.
And on the outer lane, Antoinette Reikma de Jong, silver in the 1,000 at the World Championships last year. Bronze bronze in the 1,500, fifth in the 1,000 at the last Olympics.
Ready.
Leaning away, Reikma de Jong, who found a first love in sport in equestrian. He has said she might get back into it once her speed skating career is over. I think she still has a few good races left in her. It's Takagi. 17:93, opening 200 meters. Faster than the time of Yuta Leerdam, but not the fastest overall. We'll see how that changes in this first full lap. That is really when Leerdam started to shift. We've already seen a Japanese sweep in the men's 500 meters. Takagi looking to pile on the hardware for the home country. She's lost some time there in the middle 400 meters. 45.636 the current time. Reikma de Jong 47.41. De Jong also likes to skate the 1500 meter and the 3000, so it might just be a little bit too short for her today. Of course, we'll see plenty of her over this weekend and this season. Takagi bringing this one to the line. She will go second fastest, but only by 11 hundredths of a second. 1:14.68, really close back up on that final lap. There's a look at your winner, Jutta Leerdam. Yet another World Cup gold medal for her. Reitma de Jong finishes a couple seconds back in 16th place. Like I said, 1500 meter, 3000. We'll see more of her to come. Takagi, silver medal for her.
高木美帆選手、ここで2位に入りました。素晴らしいです。地元でのレース、非常に楽しみにしていたかと思うんですが、さすが力を見せてくれましたね。惜しくも今日優勝には届かなかったんですが、非常に積極的な素晴らしいレースを見せてくれました。明日1500
pretty much on home turf in Hokkaido, a town called Makubetsu. A 29-year-old picking up yet another World Cup medal. This time it's silver for the veteran. Acknowledging the support, there's Leerdam. Yet another World Cup gold medal for her, so we will see her on the podium after the men's 1,000 meters. That's going to be another podium for Kimi Getz. Gold not too long ago in the 500 meters, and she'll be back to receive a bronze medal in the 1,000. Confirmation of the results. So Leerdam, Takagi, and Getz 1, 2, 3. You see the rest of the top 10 there. Koch, Lee, Bo, Blondet, Han, Sato, and Flederis. And rounding out the field, the top 3 we will see after the men's 1,000 meters for their medal presentations. And just going to catch another quick break ahead of the men's 1,000 meters. Olympics, getting ready for the men's 1,000 meters. There's a look at the start list. Another 10 pairs.
Is Piotr Michalski of Poland, and on the outer lane is Hobart Homefield Lorentzen of Norway.
And the first pair, Piotr Michalski of Poland and Havard Lorentzen of Norway, silver medalist in the 1,000 meters at the 2018 Olympics in Pyeongchang. There is Michalski, 29 years old.
Go to the start.
Lorentzen, whose wife Hege Bakko is also a former Norwegian speed skater.
Ready.
You can see in the background Norwegian coach Jeremy Witherspoon sending some kind of instruction to Lorentzen. Lorentzen, who also had one memorable 2018 Olympics, gold in the 500, silver in the 1,000. Lorentzen also a former World Junior champion in the 1,000 meters, but it's Michalski, 1685, fastest opening 200. Now it's a matter of building up that speed as quickly as possible and maintaining it for as long as possible as Lorentzen comes up to get the bell first after 600 meters, 42.32, Michalski, 42.76. Look at that big lap time difference. Over a half a second. And we'll see how Lorentzen can maintain it. It looks like he's doing just that, or Michalski's just losing his speed faster. It looks like it is going to be Lorentzen coming around to take the first pair. We'll get his time. It is 109.46. Michalski 110.71. Lorentzen 106.51 is his personal best, but keep in mind his best 1,000 meters came in Salt Lake City. And I mentioned the elevation difference being quite an important factor. Good wave of the hand. Second pair, Damian Zurek of Poland and Martin Leave of Estonia.
Introducing the skaters of pair number 2. Starting from the inner lane is Damian Zurek of Poland. On the outer lane is Martin Leaf of Estonia.
Go to the start. Ready.
There is a false start. See the white flag going up. And there is the man in the white armband, Damian Zurek. And just that, you see the twitch of the right leg. That's all you need. See if the second time's the charm. Zurek was born in Tomaszów Mazowiecki,
Start early.
and of course is
Go
the site
to
of
the start.
the World Cup.
Ready.
This time they are away cleanly, and it was Zurek who won a bronze in the 1,000 in his home race last season. There were 2 World Cup weekends that year in Poland. And so Martin Leave, 16.65, Zurek, 16.77. Leave is Estonia's lone entrant in this World Cup in Obihiro, Japan. Leave, who lives and trains in Heronvane like a lot of skaters do. One of those major hubs for the sport, attracting athletes from all over the world in short and long track. Very close between the two, just a tenth of a second between them. Leave 42.01, Zurich 42.11. Almost identical lap times. All going to come down to who can just keep the legs turning over that little bit more. It's Leave still in front. Zurich now making the move on the inside, using that inner lane to his advantage. Leave fading a little bit. Zurich coming to the line. Second fastest, 109.54 by 0.08 of a second. Leave 1:10 flat. So Lorenzen's time survives one pair. The next pair will be one for the home crowd, an all-Japanese pair, Masaya Yamada and Taiyo Nonomura.
Starting from the inner lane is Masaya Yamada of Japan, and on the outer lane is Taiyo Nonomura of Japan.
Go to the start. Ready.
And they are away. Yamada, another one of those skaters from Obihiro, skating at home. This is where he began to skate in 2007. That was before they put the roof on this facility. And Yamada with the fastest opener, 16.53. Nonomura, 16.79. Cup medal in the career for Yamada was a team sprint silver back in Nagano in the 2019-20 campaign. There's the bell. Yamada still fastest. Nonomura just losing about 0.05 of a second on that lap. Hanging right in there. See if he's skating into this one. It could be a very close finish into that final turn. It is Yamada going fastest, 108.36. Nonomura slots into second, 108.97. So once again, Japan 1 and 2.
Nonomura of Japan is 1:08.97.
Don't expect those two to stay atop the standings, but you never know. Yamada was certainly happy with that time. Very happy with his race.
Starting from the inner lane is Moritz Klein of Germany.
Number 5, we see our
And on
first
the
German
other lane
skater of the
is
weekend,
David
Moritz
Bosa of
Klein.
Italy.
And for the second time today, David Bosa of Italy.
Go
Here is
to the
Bosa,
start.
31 years old. Mentioned in his 500. He does have a World Cup medal, and it did come in 1,000.
Ready.
Only away. Moritz Klein, 23 years old. He's out of Erfurt in Germany. 13th in the 1,000 meter classification last year. 16.77 Bosa's opener. Moritz Klein's 16.80, third and sixth respectively. About a quarter of a second off the fastest opener. Age gap between the two. Bosa's 31, Klein is 23, but Bosa sorting out about a quarter of a second on Klein that time. And then the second fastest time, Klein sitting in sixth, and it looks like Bosa is going from strength to strength in this one. He does have that outer lane finish, but it looks like he is able to maintain his speed a little bit more. We'll see what Klein can do coming around the corner. He has closed it up a little bit. Bosa still leading. Bosa taking the pair. 108.91. Klein closes it up quite nicely with that last lap. 108.98. They go second and fourth, respectively.
ここに来てモーリッツ・クラインドイツ1分8秒98ダビド・ボサイタリア1分8秒91以上です。ここに来てまた2人の8秒台が出てきました。そして次に出てくる選手が
はい、長野県出身小島亮太選手登場です。昨シーズン表彰台も経験してますので、皆さんたくさん後押ししてください。
Fifth pair. Coming up shortly. Halfway through. There they are.
Inner lane is Zhongyang Ning of
And
China.
Zhongyang Ning
And then the
of
other lane
China.
is Ryota Kojima of Japan.
And Ryota Kojima, the 25-year-old skater out of Nagano. Ning, 24. Kojima, who learned to speed skate at the famous M-Wave that hosted the 1998 Nagano Olympic speed skating competition, where the great Hiroyasu Shimizu won gold in the 500. Kojima does have a World Cup medal in the 1,000. It came last year. He picked up bronze in Stavanger in Norway. 5th overall in the World Cup standings. So we'll see what Kojima can do here. Opening 200, it's Ning going faster, 16.81 versus 16.90. Kojima can do, trying to chase him down as they make the crossover. Kojima going into the inner lane. So he almost kicked that pylon there, but I'm sure it might have just been an angle thing. Comfortably slotting into that lane. Almost identical lap times there. Ning just a few hundredths of a second faster. These two skaters very evenly matched. Kojima studies at the university in Nagano. Shinshu University, which is the old name for Nagano. Shinshu, for its apples. Anyway, Ning to the line, takes it. He goes second fastest, 108.55. Kojima lost some time there in that second lap, 109.21. It's only good enough for 6th place.
Kojima of Japan is 1 minute 09.21.
現中間中国1分8秒54小島亮太日本1分9秒21以上です。リン選手も非常にいいレースで来てます。現在2番です。そして1位の山田雅也選手依然トップを走っています。
そしてここ続いて
There's
弟
their
の
standing
山田和也選手登場
Japanese
です。
skaters 1 and 4. Yamada, Ning, and Bosa 1, 2, 3 right now. Ning, whose only international medal.
Pair number 6. Starting from
On
the
a
inner
team
lane is
sprint.
Masanti Alter
Silver.
of Canada. And on
He
the
has
outer lane
won
is
World
Kazuya
Cups,
Yamada of Japan.
Anyway, Vincent Dehetre, the Canadian, back on the inner lane. Kazuya Yamada, 22-year-old skater from Japan on the outer lane. Dehetre, multiple-time Canadian 1,000-meter champion.
Ready?
Away. Dehetre had the honor of being the 1,000-meter speed skating champion and the Canadian champion in the kilo, the 1 kilometer time trial in track cycling a number of years ago. So, we're going to see ankle at an Olympics. So here he is back skating, the two-sport star. It is Yamada up the inside. The youngster, 22 years old. He's another one who lives and trains here in Obihiro. 42.34, 42.61 for the Hetra, 10th and 11th fastest through 600 meters. Around this final turn, the Hetra closing the gap. Is it enough to put him into the lead of the pair? Not quite yet. It's a drive to the line. It's going to be Yamada taking it. Only going 6th fastest, 109.35, 109.32 for the Hetra. He goes into 8th. Very similar lap times between the two. International competition for the Hetra. Desperate drive to the line by Yamada. Has one ambition, a medal at the 2026 Winter Olympics in Milan Cortina. Masaya Yamada still leading. Surviving yet another pair. 4 pairs still to go. And it involves a birthday boy. Held Nice of the Netherlands on the inner lane. And Jenning Debu. There's Nice, 33 years old.
Go to the start.
And Debu, one of the youngsters of the Dutch program. 19.
Ready.
Nice is actually 34 today, pardon me. And of course, defending 1,500 meter Olympic champion, 2-time defending 1,500 meter Olympic champion. He won gold in the 1,000 in Pyeongchang. Jenning Debu, just 19. He has the faster opener, 16.61. Debu had a 1:08.14 at the Dutch trials. Just sits a few hundredths of a second back. Nice, 4/10 of a second down, 41.81 compared to 42.17. Looks like it is Debu, the youngster, in the lead right now, but we'll see what Nice can do with that inner lane. He closes right up, biding his time, pouncing now. Here goes Nice to the line. The time, 108.85. That's third fastest, half a second down. Debu, 109.32. Big difference. Almost a second difference in that final lap time. And Nice finished third at the Dutch trials. Debu finished fourth. 3/100ths of a second. What's the difference there? Nice, a little more comprehensive of a victory in that one. 3 more pairs to go. And that man you see in the background of your screen right there, now coming into the foreground, Jordan Stoltz will go in the final pair.
On the inner lane is Cooper McLeod of the USA, and on the outer lane is Connor Howe of Canada.
Cooper McLeod of the United States, Connor Howe of Canada.
Go to the start.
Howe, 23 years old.
Ready.
Howe, from the prairies of Canada, from Regina, Saskatchewan. A number of great Canadian speed skaters have come from that part of the world. You think of Lucas Makowski, the team pursuit gold medalist from the Vancouver Olympics. He's one who's from Saskatchewan, but right now it's McLeod Going with the fastest opening 200 meters, 16.47. Howe mustering 17.01. That's a big half a second difference between those two. Good opener from McLeod. Let's see what kind of speed he can maintain. There is the bell. McLeod still fastest. 25.22 the lap time, 41.69 overall. He is 9/10 of a second in front right now, and he'll get to drift into the inner lane as well. So it looks like McLeod is going to take this pair. The man from Mount Vernon, Washington, Pacific Northwest, known for really churning out short trackers, but looks like they've got a pretty good long track sprinter right here. McLeod slips in the end though. 109.40, lost it all on that lap, wasn't able to maintain his speed.
109.40, and finishing time for Connor Howe of Canada is 1 minute 09.89.
9.89 for McLeod. For Howe, rather. McLeod just not able to put the complete race together. He had it through 600 meters. Unfortunately for him, the race is 1,000.
Introducing the skiers of pair number 9.
And the ninth pair.
Starting from Italy is Laurent Dubreuil of
As
Canada.
Laurent Dubreuil for the second time today.
Of Netherlands.
And from the Netherlands, Tim Prince.
Go to the start.
Prince, who won the 1,000 at the Dutch trials not too long ago. Another one of the youngsters, 20 years old.
Ready.
And they'll talk about that Dutch conveyor belt of talent over and over again. Herenveen producing champions, but Dubreuil certainly more than up to the task of challenging that. 0.02 of a second off that fastest 200 meters just set by McLeod. 16.55, Prince 16.72. Just the example of having to be able to maintain that speed for the full 1,000. You can't hold on for 6, you can't hold on for 7, it has to be the full race. And the lap times, Prinz really skating into it here. 0.2 of a second down from the fastest time, but that was McLeod's. He faded. Now the exchange, the crossover happens. Dubreuil, the 31-year-old veteran from Quebec City. Gaetan Boucher Arena will host a World Cup later on this season, but it's Prinz, the youngster, taking this one to the line, and he goes 109.33, only 11th. Dubreuil 110.26, 17th. Some questions to be asked of the Canadian veteran. That means another medal guaranteed for that Japanese program. Talk about home ice advantage. There will be lots to dissect. One coach I spoke with said they pay attention to the other team's national championship, so they have an idea of who might be coming in good form. But head-to-head on the same ice in the same conditions is something that's a little bit different. So there is the leaderboard. Yamada, Ning, and Nice.
Is Simon Snell of Netherlands, and on the outer lane is Jordan Stolz of USA.
And the final pair, Simon Snell of the Netherlands.
Go to the start.
And Jordan Stolz, the American. Can we call him a phenom? We'll see. Still 19 and a 3-time world champion.
Ready.
Snell stumbles off the line there. That could affect how he picks up speed. He was second at the Dutch Championships late last month. See how they clock through the first 200 meters. Stoltz 16.64, Snell 17.07. See a little slip of the boot by Snell off the line. That's a good draft for Stoltz, just getting sucked along a little bit there, but he wants to get into that inner lane as quickly as possible. Is Stoltz on a flyer? Still a quarter of a second down, but as we mentioned, his teammate did slip on that last lap. Stoltz with the 7th fastest time through 600 meters. Going back to the outer lane. Snell. Not going to be a factor in this one. It's going to be Stoltz's race. We'll see how it matches up. He goes third, 108.78. And so the hosts from Japan, yet another gold medal. Dreamland stuff for them. Japan sprinters, 4 medals on the men's side. And Miho Takagi, a silver on the women's side in the 1,000. Even if they just packed it in for the rest of the weekend, that's a pretty successful weekend for the Japanese. So Stoltz not able to carry over that World Championship form into the opening World Cup of the season. But there are many, many, many races still to come. Some of the other competitors make you think, okay, so he's human. But at 19, the sky is the limit for that young man right there. The celebrations. On the men's sprint side, Japan is 2 for 2. A silver medalist. Interviews are always that much more fun when you're talking about victories and podiums. Young Man Yin, 24-year-old from China. Actually won the 1,000 in Herrenbane last season. th overall in the World Cup classification. There's a look at Ning. Welcome back to the podium at the World Cup. Our winner, Masaya Yamada of Japan. Yamada too, who was born in Obihiro, learned to skate there, feeling extra sweet to win a World Cup gold medal. on your home track. There are the results. Yamada, Ning, and Stoltz. 1, 2, 3. Oh, pardon me. Stoltz was third. I missed that somewhere. Did I? Pardon me. If I mistakenly said there was something else. Anyway, it's Yamada, Ning, and Stoltz. 1, 2, and 3. They will resurface. They will give out some medals, and then we will be back for the mass starts, women's and then men's. Stay with us.
皆様お待たせいたしました。これより女子 1000m の表彰式を行います。We will now commence our ceremony for 1000-meter women. The medals will be presented by Miss Suwana Super Archer ISU representative. Bronze medal, Kimi Getz, USA. Silver medal, Miho Takagi, Japan. Gold medal, Yuta Leerdam, Netherlands. Obihiro Sweets Bouquet is presented by Naoko Saiki, Vice President of Japan Skating Federation. 本日のブーケ、花束ではなくスイーツ、お菓子の花束、お菓子のブーケとなっています。スイーツブーケ、今渡されております。ゆうた選手の今スイーツブーケです。皆様拍手をお願いいたします。 これより男子 1000m の表彰式を行います。 We will now commence our ceremony for 1000 men. The medals will be presented by Ms. Swana Silva Archer, ICE representative. Bronze medal, Jordan Stokes, USA. Silver medal, Zhang Yan-nin, China. Gold medal, Masaya Yamada, Japan. Obihiro Sweets Bouquet is presented by Hidehito Ito, Vice President of the Japan Skating Federation. 帯広スイーツブーケの贈呈は日本スケート連盟副会長伊藤秀人でございます。皆様、選手に大きな拍手お送りください。選手が退場いたします。もう一度温かい大きな拍手お送りください。Congratulations!
「 常に盛り上がるところですので、誰か逃げた選手がいたらみんな声を出して盛り上げてあげてください。
ぜひぜひまだまだいい記録が出るんじゃないかなと思いますので、やっぱり声援とか拍手って走ってる時レース中も結構聞こえるものなんでしょうか？
はい、マススタートは特に周りの状況を見ながらレース展開を読んでいくものが見どころなので、声援もたくさん聞こえると思います。先頭を走ってる選手は声援があるとなお頑張れると思うので、皆さんたくさん煽ってあげてください。
もう一度改めて何周走るでしたっけ？
はい、全部で16周走ります。最初の1周は場所取りの1周として後から出るので、そこが禁じられています。なので集団で1周続けていくことで15周で大技なので、そこから出ていきます。日本チームは昨年はショートトラックチームの共同プロジェクトでマススタート、インを回りますので、小さいコーナーを回れる選手が非常に有利になってきます。ですので、そういったショートトラックが得意な選手だったり、世界ではインラインスケート、夏のローラースケートが得意な選手がまた優勝している過去もありますので、そういったところにも注目して個人種目が強いだけでは勝てない。頭を使いながら賢くレースしないと勝てないのがこのマススタートです。そういう戦術にも注目してみてください。
はい、というわけでマススタート女子スタートしていますけれども、女子のコーナーは
Just getting set up for the women's mass start. 22 women are entered. Missing some big names. Irina Schouten of the Netherlands isn't here. Neither is Laura Peveri of Italy. Although you did see the name right at the top of the start list. Evanie Blondet, the great Canadian mass start, let's say specialist. She has won other things as well, but mass start is where she has won quite a bit. There is a look. Number 1. Number 3 is her fellow Canadian, Valerie Malte. They're 2/3 of that pretty fearsome Canadian women's team pursuit team, along with Isabel Weideman. Mia Kilberg, Manganiello of the United States, is here as well. And there once was a time when mass start was the newest sport. And by Sunday, it's just going to be one of the old hands. Sunday, if you weren't aware, we'll see the debut, at least in World Cup, of the mixed relay. I'll run through the ins and outs of that one with you on Sunday. It made a debut at the Winter University Games in Lake Placid earlier this year. It's one of the new mixed sports. Mass start, 16 laps. Couple of sprint points along the way. But it's the big one, the final sprint, where the big points are handed out. 4, 8, and 12 are the sprint points, where 5, 3, or 1 points are handed out to the first 3 across the line. But then the last one, 60, 40, and 20. So the podium is going to come from those athletes, and the mass start, certainly one that's shaken up the world of long track a little bit, adding some of that short track unpredictability to the normally pretty straightforward one lane nature of long track. Already been a successful first weekend for the Japanese. We just hope to end a first day of competition with the cherry on top.
Women's last start for Division 8 skaters. Cap number 1 is Ivan Blondin of Canada. Cap number 2, Mia Kilberg Manganello.
And we'll just allow them to introduce the whole field, all 22 skaters.
Number 4, Jiwoo Park of Korea. Number 5, Sandrine Kass of Belgium. And number 6, Sumire Kikuchi of Japan. Michelle Eric of Germany, Momoka Koikawa of Japan, Kaylee McGregor of Switzerland, Ramona Hardy of Switzerland, Georgina Berkland, USA, Magdalena Sichon of Poland, Zuzana Kursova of Czech Republic, Olga Piotrowska of Poland, Ao Yu Cheng of China, Esther Kiel of Netherlands, Reina Ahena of Netherlands, Josephine Heimerl of Germany, Lucy Korvasova of Czech Republic, Laura Ranzato of Italy, Boran Kim of Korea, and Wenjin Jing of China.
Just about ready to go. Blondin, look on your screen right now. She's the only returning member from the podium from the World Single Distance Championships in Heerenveen. As I mentioned, no Irena Schouten, Marika Gronewood also not here. And so, if you're looking for favorites, look no further than the woman wearing number 1 on her helmet in the black and red Canadian kit, Yvonne Blondin, born in Ottawa, the Canadian capital. And Valerie Malte slotting in right behind her, a former short tracker, so kind of in her element with other skaters around her. Malte and her sister Anne Malte competed together in short track back in 2010. And the gun is formed up nicely. Now racing is underway. So the first race is on for the first sprint point. Now this is where the strategy is completely different from your normal speed skating race, where the time is your own and you are maybe skating against another competitor, but you are really skating against the clock. This one is head-to-head, so you just have to look and see at who is around. Reina Anema of the Netherlands out in front right now, 30 years old. Oh, but he's really upping the tempo just yet. So when you see things really start to get strung out, that's when you know things are picking up. And now here come the attacks going for that first sprint point. Now you get points. The skaters from China, if I'm not mistaken. And we'll see 1, 2, and 3 sprint points. The pack is really just letting the front 3 go off. And at the line, there you go.
Okay, watch, it might go now,
Rig,
watch.
Harty, and McGregor. So, Michelle Uhrig of Germany going number 1, 27 years old. Harty of Switzerland and Caitlin McGregor of Switzerland. So I got my kits confused. And then you see they go for those sprint points and they just kind of, to use the cycling term, they sat up. And they waited for the pack to catch them up. So we wait to see where the next injection of pace will come from. A lot of looking around right now. A lot of standing up. Very close quarters there. You see a lot of taps on the back, letting people know they're there. Ultimately, they're responsible for each other's safety. On the front right now is Zuzana Kursova of the Czech Republic. We'll see Martina Sablikova this weekend, and she's decided a new challenge. She's on the team pursuit as well, but Kursova, 20 years old, one of the youngsters of the Czech program. As we come up to the bell lap. I believe that is the Azzurri. Look at the helmet, number 20. Yeah, that's Laura Lorenzato of Italy, 24-year-old. So it looks like she is going for the sprint point, trying to get the 5 points. But this one might get caught before the line. And this one has one of the Canadians involved. And the second sprint point goes to Valerie Malte. And it's Sandrine Tass of Belgium. 28-year-old finishing in second there. So Malte now on 5 points. Now an early attack going. It's a skater from Poland going out in front.
Not too far, Yossi, you're too far!
Here, the coaches shouting their suggestions. Pretty strung out field. The pace has really picked up. That's Magdalena Chischon, who initially kind of lit that fuse, and now they have reformed just a little bit. Reina Anima of the Netherlands back in front.
That's good, Yossi!
6 laps to go. Mia Kilberg. Looks like the Swiss are launching another attack. It is once again McGregor and Harty from the looks of things. Helmet numbers 9 and 10. See if they let this one go. Indeed, it's McGregor and Harty 1-2. And Laura Lorenzato, I believe, is also up there for it. It's McGregor, Harty, and Kim, pardon me. Orium Kim of Korea.
Come on, come on!
And it is Lorenzato upping the tempo now. The field has some work to do to try to get her back. It is Laura Lorenzato of Italy. A name you might have thought beforehand. 24 years old. Leading things out. Couple laps to go. She's got about a straightaway. Harty and McGregor there as well. Lorenzato fully committed to this now, coming up to 2 laps to go. We'll wait for the response. We'll see what Blondin can do. We'll see what Kilberg Manganiello can do. The pack is reformed up, and they may have timed this perfectly. Lorenzato still with the lead, but it is diminishing with every single stride. She is fading hard now. Lorenzato, appreciate the effort. She has both arms going, but the lights have gone out. It's Blondin and Malte, 1 and 2. Anima stepping in for Irena Schouten and Marijke Groenewold, the 2 big Dutch skaters who are not here. It is a North American battle. And coming to the line, it looks like it is going to be, once again, Yvonne Blondin, the Canadian, taking this one, as she has done so many times before. I think there is Kilberg Manganiello, Blondin, Anima, and Kilberg Manganiello. 1, 2, and 3. Malte 4th in that sprint. She picked up 5 early on, but that's not enough to get her onto the podium. If I'm not mistaken, I'll let them do the math. There's a look at your winner. Off and running in the mass start is Yvonne Blondin. And I missed that one. That was Momoka Horikawa going down. Blondin knew when to go. She and Malte worked together to bring back the last of the breakaway, and with the finish line in sight, Blondin chases victory and goes and gets it. Malte 4th, I believe. No Schouten, no problem for the Netherlands. They still look like they get a podium finish. Just awaiting confirmation of those results. I do believe that next weekend we will see Schouten in Beijing. Post-race debrief between the 2 North Americans. Kilberg Manganiello turned 34 late last month. Also has competed professionally in road cycling. And Kilberg Manganiello, born in Crestview, Florida. That's on the Panhandle, close to the borders of Alabama. The family moved to Salt Lake City, sold their restaurant, and uprooted, moved to Salt Lake so that she could train in that environment. Still one more race to come. 2 more races to come. There is a men's mass start Division A and Division B as well. So you'll see the results confirmed up there. I'll be back with you if there were any corrections, and I'll join you for the men's mass start. confirmation. There is confirmation, rather. Blonde, Anima, and Kilberg, Manganiello, 1, 2, 3. Malte of Canada finishing in 4th. Those big 60 points on the line. The difference. Quick break. Back for the men's mass start shortly.
はい、有力な選手というのは、それだけマークがきつくなる傾向にあるので、マークしたい選手を見つけたとしても、おそらくその後ろには大行列ができてしまう、そういうレース展開なので、1番手だけじゃなくて、2番手、3番手の場所取りも激しくなるのがマススタートです。そして、集団での場所取りに気を取られていると、後ろからすかさず逃げ出す選手も出てくるので、そういったところにも注目してほしいです。
またこちらの転倒っていうリスクもあるんじゃないかなと思うんですけれども、それで巻き込まれるっていう可能性もあるわけですよね。
もちろん一列で滑るわけではないので、コーナーで転んだ際に外の選手を巻き込んで一緒に転んでしまうケースもあるかもしれませんが、それだけハードなコンタクトがあるエキサイティングなレースですので、最後の最後、順位争いに注目してほしいです。
他のレースの気持ちですとか準備で違うところってありますか？
もちろん 500m から 5000m、10000m までの個人種目は自分のやるべきことだけに集中して挑むんですが、マススタートというのは常に予期せぬことが起こるレースなので、どんなことにも対応できる万全の準備が必要です。
ではいよいよ選手たちがアイスに乗るという段階になってきました。注目の選手紹介していただけますか？
はい。男子はマススタートディビジョン A、ディビジョン B に分かれます。ディビジョン A に参加するのは20名。ヘルメットナンバー1番バート・スティーブ選手はこのマススタート何度も優勝している強豪選手です。ベルギーのバート・スティーブ選手、そしてヘルメットナンバー2番イタリアのアンドレア・ジョバンニ選手も表彰台の常連選手です。そしてヘルメットナンバーの若い順番というのは昨年のワールドカップランキングから参考にしている順番ですので、有力選手です。ただ、今年から参戦してきた若手の選手も若い番号にもいますので、そういう選手にも注目してほしいと思います。
こちらは日本の選手は日本の選手で注目、番号は何番になりますでしょうか
？11番、菊池耕太選手、今年の全日本距離別選手権においてマススタート2連覇を果たした選手です。まだ世界でのメダルは一歩届いてないところなので、ここでぜひメダル獲得してほしいですね。
はい、ではヘルメット番号11番にまずは注目をしていただいて、そして他の強い国の選手たちの走りも注目いただきたいということですね。
はい、特に男子は女子と違って16周という長い周回にも一人で逃げ切れる力があるので、おそらく最終スプリントのみだけではなく途中の中間逃げも激しいアタック争いになるんじゃないかなと思います。そこにも注目して声援を送ってください。
There's the start list for the men's mass start.
Introducing the
Plenty of different podiums combinations last year, so expect the unexpected, but a lot of the big names are here. Bart Swings, Andrea Giovannini, Bart Houlworth, Livio Wenger, Chungjai Won, all regular visitors to the podium last year. That's the top 5 from the men's mass start. We'll just let you get introduced to the skaters by our in-house announcers.
Helmet number 5, Jaewon Chung of Korea. Helmet number 6, Gabriel Olor of Austria. Helmet number 7, Ethan Stefaron of USA. Helmet number 8, Soo-Hoon Lee of Korea. Alex Rickman of Deutsche Germany. Connor Howe of Canada. Kota Kikuchi of Japan. Felix Mali of Germany. Daniel Di Stefano of Italy. Philip Durante Schmidt of Denmark. Connor McDonald Mastori of USA. Antoine Jonas Leu of Canada. Victor Holtorpen of Denmark. Marcel Bosker of Netherlands, Timothy Luganov of France, and Vitaly Shishkolov of Kazakhstan.
Exactly the same length as the women's mass start. Sprint points are in the same places as well. Just a bit of a delay here. It's the one you're going to want to watch for. The great Bart Swings, defending Olympic champion in the mass start. He was the first Belgian Olympic speed skater gold medal. Now we are away. Swings, who admits that a good portion of his heart lies within line. But speed skating has one big draw, and that is the possibility for Olympic medals. And this event is certainly the richer for having him in it. Swings was also world champion gold medal, the first Belgian gold at a world championships. And the official start, and it's Swings and Giovannini, 1 and 2. Giovannini, who you may also see in the team pursuit as well. Livio Wenger's there. 30-year-old man from Switzerland. We don't often see many of the Swiss skaters in the traditional events, but we've seen plenty of Swiss representation in the women's and now the men's mass start. Very much a feeling out stage here in the early going. Strung out. The tempo is picking up a little bit as we approach that first sprint point. There's the bell. The skaters from the Netherlands out in front. And it is Swings now, just deciding to lead from the front. Forget waiting for the last sprint point. Swings is trying to go for it first. There are some challengers. I think on the outside. Might have taken it. Giovannini claimed it. Swings in third, and it is the American Connor McDermott Mostowi sliding in for second. 24-year-old Connor Dermott Mostowi. He was 15th in the overall World Cup standings last year. And it's swings, Giovannini, and I believe Daniele Di Stefano all working together at the front right now, the front three. Now they kind of wait for things to form back up. Wenger's also there from Switzerland. A lot of teams with black kits. Make it a little bit more confusing here. Orange of the Netherlands, very recognizable. Right at the front, that would be Bart Hoeworth, 25 years old. Third overall in the mass start standings last year. Another injection of pace is coming here as we get the bell. It is Philip Du Schmidt, skater from the Netherlands, or not the Netherlands, pardon me, Denmark. 26 years old. Not seeing a lot of Danish speed skaters, but he's going for it now. Hoeworth. And the two Italian skaters right behind him, and it looks like it could be, oh, who's going to sneak in, who's going to claim that? I'll wait for confirmation. It was Ethan Setheran, the American, Daniele Di Stefano of Italy, and then Marcel Bosker out of the Netherlands. So some of the teammates coming up to claim some points. And now off on the attack. Which Danish skater is this now? Going off on a flyer. Look for the helmet number. And the main pack comfortable enough in letting him go. You see the two Canadians there at the front as well. That's Connor Howe and Antoine Gelina-Beaulieu. It is Victor Halb Thorup, 29 years old. It's a lot of B Division 5,000 and 10,000 meters. Now the chase is on. There is the bell. He has a gap. He might claim this sprint point. Thorup with a good margin. The pursuit doesn't look terribly organized with a couple different skaters trying to get to the front. Austria's Odor, Bosker of the Netherlands. Now the chase is on. Will be Thorup, I believe, and it could be a Danish 1-2 at that sprint point. That's Austria, pardon me. It's Gabriel Odor of Austria. And our entrant from France as well, Timothy Lubineau. 27-year-old. Getting up for the third sprint. One more sprint to go, 2 laps to go. 3 laps to go, pardon me. And we'll see where the chase will come from. They still have to catch Thorold. He's got just about the whole straightaway. The injection of pace is going to have to come from somewhere. Let's see if that elastic eventually snaps. It's Bosker of the Netherlands leading the chase. Now the cat is really amongst the pigeons now. The chase is on. Giovannini, Di Stefano, swings, Wenger all leading the chase. And the gap is diminishing. The legs are likely burning for Victor Thorup. The neutral always wants to see the breakaway stay away. He's got about half a straightaway. It's Thorup, it's Giovannini, and swings 1, 2, and 3. The big names leading the chase. Can Thorup hold on? It doesn't look like it. The lights have gone out. The hands are on the knees. That is all she wrote for the breakaway. And it's Bart Swings leading the run to the line. Here comes Wenger. Here comes... Oh my goodness. Woolworth was also there, I believe. That might go to a photo. And it's Woolworth, it Swings, and it's Wenger 1, 2, 3. Antoine Jelina-Beaulieu of Canada getting up into 4th. And Giovannini slipping to 5th. And Bart Woolworth. Looks like he celebrates a victory. We'll await confirmation on that. Leo Wenger almost pulling it off. And Holworth, who's also competed in inline for the Netherlands. Silver at the World Championships in Heerenveen. 2 mass start gold medals last year in Heerenveen and in Tomaszów Mazowiecki. Look at how close that was. It came down to the reach. There is a crash. I believe that's Connor Howe, the Canadian. Indeed, that is the case. And the sprint to the line. Swings, leading out Wenger. But Holworth with the last gasp. Reach right there at the line. That was the difference. And he knew.
Like it was, but I think it's because they changed right after I passed it. Yeah, they would. Yeah, and I'm like, dude. Yeah, there's the sorry.
Course, getting on the phone, perhaps the post-race social media post.
500. Ik denk, ja, als ik nu omheen ga, dan kom ik kut uit in de bocht. Ja, blijf daar nog mooi rustig. Ja, zeker, maar toen kwam ik daar en toen merkte ik dat het veel meer sneller.
There's confirmation. Pulworth swings Wenger. 1, 2, and 3. Jelena Beaulieu and Giovannini rounding out the top 5. Couple more podiums still to come, and then I'll be back with you to sign off day 1 of the ISU World Cup Speed Skating in Obihiro, Japan. Stay with us.
The official result of the race is yet to be finalized. However, provisionally we see that helmet number 3 for Arbella Sloper from Netherlands, and helmet is in the first place. Helmet number 1, Bart Swings of Belgium, in second place. Helmet number 4, Livio Wenger of Switzerland, is in third place. The final result is yet to be determined. It is not final.
男子マススタートディビジョン A、 順位の方まだ確定しておりませんが、暫定順位としまして1位ヘルメット番号3番バート・アルベルトス・ホールヘルズ、オランダ。2位ヘルメット番号1番バート・スウィングス、ベルギー。3位ヘルメット番号4番リビオ・ベンガー、スイスの着順になっております。
お待たせいたしました。これより女子マススタート表彰式を行います。We will now commence the award ceremony for mass start women. The medals will be presented by Ms. Swana Super Archer, ISU's representative. Bronze medal, Mia Kilbag-Magnello, USA. Silver medal, Ezekiel, Netherlands. Gold medal, Evgeny Brandin, Canada. Obihiro Swiss bouquet is presented by Naoko Saeki, Vice President of the Japan Skating Federation. 帯広スイーツブーケの贈呈は日本スケート連盟副会長佐伯直子です。スイーツブーケ、こちらは帯広十勝のスイーツで作られております。 様栄誉をたたえて大きな拍手をお送りください。これより男子マススタート表彰式を行います。We will now commence our ceremony for mass start men. The medals will be presented by Male Swana Super Archer ISU representative. Bronze medal, Livio Vega, Switzerland. Silver medal, Bart Swings, Belgium. Gold medal, Bart Albertus Urwel, Netherlands. Obihiro Swiss book is presented by Hidehito Ito, Vice President of the Japan Skating Federation. 帯広スイーツブーケの贈呈は日本スケート連盟副会長伊藤秀人でございます。帯広のスイーツブーケも受け取っていただきました。皆さん、レースたたえて大きな拍手をお送りください。Congratulations. 選手が退場いたします。もう一度盛大な拍手をお願いいたします。Please give the members a round of applause to honor them.
「
Not a bad day to wrap up the first day of competition at the opening round of the ISU Speed Skating World Cup. A photo finish in the men's mass start. Bart Hoelwerf of the Netherlands wraps up a good day. Couple gold medals for the Netherlands. Couple medals for the United States, but you'd have to say day one really belonged to the hosts from Japan. A sweep in the men's 500 meters and another medal in the women's 1,000. Lots more to come this weekend. Second day of action will feature the men's and women's 1,500 meters and the team pursuits. And then Sunday we'll have another women's 500 meters also tomorrow. Sunday we'll have another men's 500 meter, the women's and men's 3 and 5,000 meters, and then the debut of mixed gender relay. So to wrap things off for today from Obihiro, my name is Gavin Day. Lots more to come tonight over the next few days, and of course the rest of the season. Until then, goodbye.